If your morals are a secret, you're a sex cult. Yeah, morals and dog shit, exactly. Okay. I've made my case. How's that? Actually, you know what? This will be easier if you screenshot this so I never have to do this again. Hold on. Man, the way I'm doing this is like, it's, if you don't understand what I'm saying by now, that's on you. Is it generative? Fuck. Okay. I'll color this. Pink. There it is. The power of the nut. People go to jail for a nut. People build empires. People run giant businesses for a nut. People work 40-hour days in a 24-hour clock just for a nut. Men drive 5 hours to fuck a mid girl for a nut. Men fly halfway across the world to get rejected by some fucking mid ex for a nut. Men destroy 40-year marriages for a nut. That is the power of the G. The grand architect, the generative principle. And why is their God the generative principle? Why is their God the grand architect? Because they worship horniness. They worship the horns. This is Epstein Island. You're broke. They have billions. You suck. You went to college. They don't go to college. They have other books. You get a cold and there's no cure for the common cold, so you take a NyQuil and pray. You know, you like pray for the best. Oh man, I've got a cold for 2 weeks. They know what a cold is. They understand it. They know. They're like, look at this. Our auras are weak. I'm catching illnesses. You don't know why you have a common cold. Cancer. Anything that happens to you, it's always, I don't know. You're going to have to buy a lot of medicine until you just heal naturally. And then, hey, bro, it was actually the NyQuil. What are the symbols on the forearms of the goat? Yeah, it says solve coagula. So that's their transmutation. And that's actually, you know, Harry Potter creator, right? I'm talking about magic, right? Real life magic. The creator who made like fucking $100 million or $1 billion off Harry Potter, she has the same tattoo, just on a different spot, but she has this tattoo, and she made Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling. You look at her early life, it's all black magic and occult. Thoughts on mythology? Yeah, it's all retarded. It's all fake. Mythology is all fake, dude. All right. It's just God and the devil. There's nothing else to it. But really, it's just God. The devil's not even in the fucking equation. When you realize how weak the devil is, when you read enough, you go, oh, wow, there's nothing to worry about. I don't worry about my mental, but I worry about like people around me, right? There's people who look me in my eye and say I'm crazy, and then they put a mask on to go to the store. I saw people wearing masks in swimming pools, and they pointed at me and said, dude, you're crazy. There's no way you're repeating what you read in a book. That's crazy, John. So, here's the fucking Lucifer is good retard in chat red. I love this guy. He's convinced, right? He's convinced. Red, let me give you the argument you made yesterday. I missed it in chat until I rewatched some of it. Right? Here's his argument, okay? Okay, we'll draw a tree. This is the best argument you're ever going to hear from fucking retard, right? Because in his argument, he's actually assuming it's all real. So it's actually perfect. Okay, look at this. He says, Lucifer is good. Without knowledge, you'd be a fucking animal. Okay. Were Adam and Eve animals? See, now he's quitting from the debate. Now he's saying, no, it's all fake. Even the Lucifer part is fake. It just means knowledge. You see? This is how easy it is. The most knowledgeable in our society are always worrying. A simple life farmer who has faith, right? Maybe his head's not in the books. That's true genius. Peace of mind. Wife, kids. You fucking worrying, anxiety, depression. I'm so smart though. I'm so smart. I'm like Jordan Peterson level smart, so I can't stop crying. Choke on knowledge. All right, you can ban red now. You're late, by the way. You usually start trolling earlier. This red guy is really convincing. Yeah, you should Google Kanye West Freemason. We'll see if Kanye's on your side. Okay, where was I going? Yeah, so if the energy is always coming from your penis, then it's a lie that people say it's either you awaken your third eye or you go to Epstein Island and awaken your penis eye. That's your third eye. That's a real third eye to the Satanists. But I'm with Lucifer. I'm not a Satanist. Dude, it goes up the column because it's always from your dick. You get it? It goes up Jacob's ladder. Jacob sees God, wrestles with God. How the fuck do you wrestle with God? It's meant to invoke something in you. Masons think they're their own gods. then what should we all do? Oh, it's very simple. Okay. No one has the answers, but here's what I got from myself. All right, I should look at my notes here. Okay, yeah, I gotta go soon. All right. That is the dynamo of living power, right? Is that sacred, sacral from the sacrum bone, orgasm, energy. They harness it for themselves. That is Luciferian. They don't get a wife and kids. They don't do that. And if they do, they're cheaters and they're fucked up. They upward shoot it for gnosis. Okay. It goes up the columns. The 33 degrees. That's why it's the 33. Which is 1/3 of all fallen angels that join Lucifer. That is why it's called the fruit of sexuality. Right? They bite from the fruit. That's what temptation is, right? This water fluid that's carried by an electric astral flame that carries emotion, soul, everything like that. These are the motors that animate the being, right? This is why you get out of bed. Your dick is hard, right? Moz, just time out Luca and all these people is distracting me right now. Right? That guy needs to get a 7th booster. These wheels, these chakras, whatever you want to call them, right? Planets, right? They turn with the motion of the stars, right? Just like the planets are wheels. Angels were considered wheels, right? Polaris is in magnetic north, right? Right on top of it would be the North Star Polaris. That is the penile. That's why they use star signs for magic. The word penile for your pineal gland comes from the word pine cone at the top of the ladder across the tree of life. The pine cone, penile pine cone. Now, there's nothing stronger than someone who has blind faith. That's why when ISIS shows up, you're like, oh, these guys don't fuck around. Right? No one fucks around when ISIS shows up. Maximizing faith in your team. Those kind of guys don't fuck around. SEAL Team 6, the Rangers, the Wagner, the Azov Battalion. These guys have blind faith that they're gonna kill you. They're gonna win. And that fire, the fire symbol is the triangle. The masculine, that fire, that symbol, that triangle is actually turned on its side. You see it in military patches. You understand? They turn it horizontally in military patches because the military goes through whatever the fuck they want in the material world. They go through everything. boom, 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 boom. They light the place up. When they believe in evil, they're strong, but when they believe in God, they're fucking unstoppable. That's why empires fall. No empires ever fell unless the people started lacking faith. That's the only reason empires fall. Knowing God is not opening your third eye with sex energy. The real ladder to God is faith. Faith is the sole architecture that Masonry could not adopt. For it would not guarantee them financial success. Little children on an island. It would not guarantee anything. Faith is not plodding on an island. It is not thinking. It is just being like God, right? They're just being. But it's not infinite like God. So you lack faith some days, you struggle with it, whatever. The ladder cracks. We get it. God is sacrifice. Sacrifice is the first and only lesson that is repeated in a human's life. I want to get a toy, Dad. I want to get a toy, Dad. Sacrifice, this word, everything goes around it. You must alchemically sacrifice who you are for who you're going to be. This happens all the time. That's a scary fucking thought. That's depression. That's anxiety. People kill themselves with that thought. You understand? To those who lack faith, sacrifice is paralyzing. They're paralyzed. They're frozen like a bitch. They're frozen like a bitch. They're more certain in sin with their dick. To those who are faithful, to those who do not lack faith in God, they can transmute fear of the unknown, of what's going to happen a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. They can transmute fear into excitement. But they can only manipulate fear with the instrument of faith, right? They got to be faithful. They got to protect their faith. They got to have faith in the forms of God. That's what having faith in God is. So the forms are good. Anything good, okay? Being good. You got to be good. You can't just say it. You got to do it. This is the only way to navigate through the world. And everyone's going to convince you otherwise. There's plotters and there's schemers. Having faith means you can smile in times of distress. That's OP, motherfucker. These guys fucking children on an island, they're always stressed. You know, they might smile at photos, but they're always like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Is my buddy gonna kill me? Or is the world gonna find out that I'm a pedo on an island? Having faith means you're never fucking passive. When you're passive, anything can penetrate you. Anything. When you're passive, then the darkness, the fear of the unknown and the future, it's actually terrifying. That's why women are always scared. They're passive. I don't know what's going to happen. I need a man. When you have faith, and remember, women really lack faith. They have trouble with God. You know, they got to get married and it gets easier. But when you have faith, you are active. That means you strike first. That means you throw the first punch in life. You don't get hit and then, oh, I gotta react. I gotta punch back. Is it too late to punch? The fear is always greater than the problem coming towards you. The fear is the slop that fattens the serpent. It feeds off your fear and increases in size. The fear is what sharpens the fucking serpent's fangs. Fear is why the serpent takes his fucking time with you in the darkness. He wants to get fat. He wants you anxious. You biting your nails. Oh my God. The bad news is around the corner. Are you thinking about all your bad news this week? Are you passive? Are you sitting there just getting penetrated by fucked up thoughts? I need something to happen. You're saying you're passive. That's why you need something to happen. Just bite me. The devil got a bite. I'm going to sin so he comes faster. You need something to happen because you're passive. You're frozen. Move, man. Move. Get active. Faith is masculine. Women don't have it. Faith allows you to meet the fucking serpent and, oh, look at that. It's actually a fucking worm. Huh. What was I worried about? But what if the worst happens? What if you hit first? You jump in darkness, you hit first. Can I pee? This is bad timing, but let me pee real quick. All right. Where was I? You in the front row, help me out. Where was I? Yes, you. All right. One in the chat. All right. You're frozen. You're paralyzed. You're pathetic. You're feminine. You're waiting for bad news. You know it's gonna hit. You don't want to hit it early. You'll wait a week, month, year. You'll stay in bed depressed. Oh, I can't do it. Maybe if I watch enough Andrew Tate. Get active, strike first, jump in the darkness. The serpent is never that big. Your problems are never as big as you worrying. The worrying is actually what's making these problems into leviathans. And you know that. You went your whole life knowing that, but you don't move. So how do you don't know that? Because when you know things, when you have knowledge, you still don't do anything. You need faith to move. You need to get active. You think biting from an apple and I'm just a knowledgeable guy. I know everything about starting a business. I just never do it. I don't have faith. I don't have faith, bro. Knowledge is like my king. I've been reading for like 20 years. I know everything about the gym. I'm just being obese because I'm a doctor who knows about health, but I'm obese because, I'm knowledgeable, right? I'm knowledgeable. I don't need God, bro. I got science. I don't need faith. I'm knowledgeable. Knowledge is my God, right? I love knowledge. You know when after like thousands of years, they don't know what a common cold is? That's knowledge, man. I fucking love knowledge. You mean thousands of years have passed and your doctor says, you should go to like Big Pharma and buy some things because you have a cold. It's going to last a month. It's going to last a week. It's going to maybe a week, maybe a day or a month. We don't know yet. What the fuck? I think after billions of dollars given for cancer treatment, they look at you dead ass and they go, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know, man. We just tell you that we're solving it. Okay. You gotta get active. You gotta hit the fucking serpent first. And if the worst happens, if you strike first and oh shit, it's not a worm, it's actually a big serpent. Well, you're hitting with momentum. It's not like before. When you have faith, you have momentum, you're active. So to you, it feels like a fair fight. Oh, I'm struggling, man. I can't pay my fucking bills. And to you, it's a fair fight when you have faith, right? You pick up extra shifts and you go. But it's not a fair fight. It's never been a fair fight, you and the serpent. It's never fair in evil's heart, meaning to the serpent, the fight is not fair, and to the fearful, the fight is not fair. The fearful are the first to eat you on a fucking island. They're cannibals. They're Baal worshippers. Balenciaga. Baal, Baal, bull worshippers, man. They put you down by fucking their horns and they eat your face off. It does not feel like a fair fight to the devil, to the serpent, and it does not feel like a fair fight to the simp and the soy and those who lack faith. But when you're active because you're faithful, it's a fair fight to you, especially in the moment. Like, I get my shit together. I'm doing it. It's hitting. I'm hitting back, though. It's fine. Oh, look at that. My boss texted me for a raise. It's working. Now I'm going to do this, and I'm finding a way. I'm glad I didn't give up. To you, when you're afraid, it's not fair. To you, the serpent is too powerful. You're a fucking pussy. You're a coward. You play video games. You're fucking Aiden Ross. All that worrying, you're feeding into the serpent. When you worry, you eat the junk food, you do the drugs, you drink the alcohol, you're feeding the serpent again. Why are you feeding him? Because the immediate reward is always satanic. You can go booze with your buddies, it's not solving shit. Where does that line of thinking come from? Biting the fucking apple. The immediate knowledge is more important to you than the long term. The waiting out your life, having faith in God, you need gnosis. You need it now. Why do you need it now? Because you don't want to be in this battle struggling with faith your whole life. This is a war. I just want a battle, John. You want immediate. You want to be Da Vinci today. Why? In the mind of the serpent, you're a fucking titan. You are what is truly powerful. Because the serpent knows deep down in the cosmic scale of things, the serpent knows that one day you will remember whose image you are made.